Jidisu and his men around the scene of the incident, APP National Chairman Ichena Nandi said the attack was also to undermine the River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara, who wants to ensure local government elections are conducted in the state. Mr. Nadi, who said the party is not deterred by the incident, called on President Bola Tinubu and relevant security agencies to help fish out those behind the detonation of the improvised explosion devices at the Secretariat. On the spot, the chairman of the APP in River State, Sunny Nwokekoro, said the party is determined to accommodate more new members despite the attack on its party's secretariat. In the meantime, the River State Commissioner of Police, Olatunji Disu, visited the scene of an explosion at the Action People's Party APP office and urged residents to prioritize their security. CP Disu said that the operatives of the bomb squad unit have been deployed to the area and the police are awaiting their report. CP Disu also confirmed that officers have moved people away from the scene as a precaution against any further explosions. Moving on, a state high court in Port Harcourt is expected to deliver a judgment any time from now on a lawsuit filed by APC executives led by Emeka Bike against the party's national executive and the 7-man caretaker committee in River State led by Tony Okocha. The ruling will be delivered virtually by Justice Sika Aprioku, who previously heard argument and reserved the judgment. The plaintiffs are seeking clarification on the constitutionality of their suspension and the inauguration of the caretaker committee. Meanwhile, some residents of Port Harcourt Metropolis have expressed mixed reactions following the silence of the River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara to set a time frame to probe the former administration. Recall that in May, Governor Fubara said a judicial panel of inquiry will be set up to investigate the management of the state's resources and affairs under past administrations. Speaking on Nigerian Info FM's Morning Crossfire, some of the residents say the governor has the liberty to probe at his own time, while others believe that there should be a timeline to ensure accountability.
Yes, there should be a timeline when it comes to probing.
All those things does not work. Had it been all those things are working, it would have helped this our democracy.
I think the probe will still go on whether we like it or not. Let the governor take his time, probe, so that those who have been eating our rice and gari inside that gari bag.
Because he said he had every document, something that will indict him. He will come up to the public and say he's going to probe the previous government. It's a big lie. He's going to probe and it will not affect him, it will not indict him in any way.
So the governor will not probe. That is a big lie. The governor can probe when the time comes. Everything is done. It comes by the order of the executive governor of the state.
There is no definite timeline under the law within which a governor is to set up a panel to carry out any inquiries.
Elsewhere, the Nigerian Immigration Service, NIS, is probing the destruction of the country's passport by a lady and has also invited the woman for questioning. A viral video captured the female traveler identified as Favor Igiebo destroying the Nigerian standard passport said to belong to her husband at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. It was initially unclear the reason for her action, but in a statement today, the NIS spokesman Kenneth Udo said the incident is a violation of the law. Meanwhile, the woman in the viral video said she took the decision owing to family issues. Still to come, NYSC says no directive to pay corps members new minimum wage yet. Stay with us.
Light Up Port Harcourt Music Festival,
hosted by Tacha.
begun the prosecution of arrested protesters during the 10-day End Bad Governance in Nigeria nationwide protest. Although the protests were relatively peaceful in the south, it turned violent in the north, with several lives lost, property worth billions of naira destroyed, leading to the declaration of curfew in no fewer than 5 states. At least 17 persons were reportedly killed in Abuja, Kano, Niger, Borno, Kaduna and Jigawa, and several others injured on the opening day of the protest. A senior advocate of Nigeria, Michael Zekome, has urged President Bola Tinubu to muster the political will to get Africa's most populous nation what he describes as a people-centered constitution. Mr. Zekome, who spoke on Channels Television, argued that the 1999 constitution was military-imposed and not subject to any referendum. He said Nigeria needs an indigenous and people-centric constitution to redirect the country's journey of no destination. Away from that, Nigeria Info FM's I Beg to Differ debate national finals tagged the Tournament of Champions will begin today. The debate, which is aimed at lending a voice to young persons in Nigeria, is scheduled for the 12th till 29th of August. Speaking during a press briefing in Lagos, General Manager Kuwazobia Info FM Femi Obong Daniels says 16 young champions from various zones will gather in Lagos to compete at the national finals of the debate.
It is not winning that has been for us our icing on the, or our cherry on the cake. It's the fact that I Beg to Differ Students Debate has been one of our strongest tools for listening to young people. The debate topics range everything from politics to governance to anything that is current affairs, human angle. I Beg to Differ Student Debate Tournament, radio is on lockdown.
The general manager explained that the debate will be live across all Nigeria Info FM radio stations across the country and will also be streamed live on Facebook and YouTube. He said that judges will be unbiased in their judgment.
It will also be live on Kids FM, which is the baby of the Cool FM, Wazobia FM, Nigeria Info family. The judges have their independence to determine who the best debaters are based on all the criteria that have been set. And those criteria are the usual debate criteria. Poise, articulation, main points made to stand out.
And now in business, the National Youth Service Corps NYSC has dismissed what it described as misleading information regarding the payment of 70,000 naira minimum wage to Corps members. A statement signed by the Director, Information and Public Relations of the Corps, Eddie Megwa, said Corps members, parents and members of the public should note that no directive has been received to raise the allowance of Corps members. Recall that in 2020, the NYSC increased the allowances of Corps members from 19,800 to 33,000 naira months after a new minimum wage bill of 30,000 naira was signed. In entertainment, Angel Salazar, best known for his role as Chichi, Al Pacino's loyal sidekick in the iconic gangster film Scarface, is dead. Salazar died over the weekend in his sleep at a friend's home in Brooklyn, US. In sports, the Tigress Reina Wakama has won the Best Coach award of the women's basketball event in the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. She took the Nigerian female team to the quarterfinals of the tournament for the first time in history.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
The U.S. has sent a guided missile submarine to the Middle East as tensions grow in the region. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin also said an aircraft carrier which was already heading to the area would sail there more quickly. The move comes in response to fears of a wider regional conflict after the recent assassination of Syria's Hezbollah and Hamas leaders.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
That's a wrap on the news this afternoon. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. The APP says the attack on its secretariat is an attempt to stop the local government elections in Rivers State. Rivers State CP has visited the scene of the explosion at APP's office in Port Harcourt. NYSC says there is no directive to pay corps members the new minimum wage yet. On the foreign scene, US has sent a submarine to the Middle East as tension grows. The news was edited by Martha Okiri. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I am Ifechuku Moyali. Many thanks for listening.
On your number one talk station,
you get a daily dose of news trends.
Crisis averted in aviation sector after aggrieved unions suspend strike.
Intense conversation.
She's among the ICPC board members. What has she experienced in life? She's a doctor girl. She is there because she has levels.
Sports and news to keep you updated all day and every day.
Join the conversation on your number one talk station,
Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
Let's talk. And your talk station. The conversation never ends.
Let the person walk. We vote you. You see, the person doesn't have to even tell us to wait for the godfather to take him again. You carry your file anything where? Who won't give you job?
But I mean, some people have succeeded. Unfortunately,
let's not lie.
No.
It's Nigeria Info. Let's talk.